wearing number 2, Michael Wright. At forward for Michigan State, a sophomore listed at 6'8", from Southfield, Michigan, wearing number 25, Aloysius Alagagne. Forward for Arizona, a junior listed at 6'7", from Phoenix, Arizona, wearing number 44, Richard Jefferson. At forward for Michigan State, a senior listed at 6'7", from Brampton, Ontario, number 11, David Thomas. Center for Arizona, a senior listed at 7'1", from St. Louis, Missouri, number 3, Lauren Woods. At center for Michigan State, a senior listed at 6'8", from Trotwood, Ohio, number 34, Andre Hudson. Guard for Arizona, a sophomore listed at 6'3", from North Hollywood, California, wearing number 0, Gilbert Arenas. At guard for Michigan State, a sophomore listed at 6'6", from Saginaw, Michigan, number 23, Jason Richardson. Sophomore listed at 5'10", from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 22, Jason Gardner. At guard for Michigan State, our senior listed at 6'3", from Flint, Michigan, wearing number 14, Charlie Bell. The head coach for Arizona, Lute Olson. The head coach for Michigan State, Tom Izzo.
Tom Izzo, when he won the championship a year ago, was younger to win his first title than John Wooden was, or Dean Smith, or Mike Krzyzewski with their first. It's time for the Packer points for game 1, Billy.
Well, it's very important today that the real Woods comes to play. Lauren Woods, his presence down low, both offensively and defensively. Got 17 shots that he's blocked so far in the tournament. He's got to continue. All right. Will Michael Wright be all right today? Or will he be like he was against Illinois, where he didn't show up? They really need him in the power points down in the paint. The battle of the boards. Nobody has rebounded in college basketball like the Michigan State Spartans. They are incredible, particularly when they go on the offensive glass and get half of their shots back again. And then, of course, the new kids on the block. Tom Izzo replenished his team with Randolph and Taylor, 2 freshmen who must contribute in the biggest game of their lives today.
Billy, that battle of the boards with Woods' size and Wright's muscle inside, can they compete with Michigan State's bulk? What do you think?
Well, you know, they were out-rebounded. Against Illinois, Arizona was out-rebounded only by 1. And I think that was a great prelude to what this game will be today. If they can hold their own against a club like Illinois, they ought to be able to do all right against Michigan State.
The officials, big assignment, obviously, but something that they go through a qualifying process also to make it here, so congratulations to these 3.
And, Jim, these 2 teams played last year. Of course, Michigan State was out without Mateen Cleaves, and Arizona beat them, and in that game, they were only out-rebounded by 3. That's really something to watch.
Long tip back to Thomas, and Michigan State playing in its 3rd straight Final Four, looking for back-to-back championships with first possession.
Interesting to see Jefferson, who did such an incredible job defensively on Williams, is on Richardson.
Swinging it inside. Hudson's had a big tournament so far. Richardson shot blocked by Jefferson.
And already paid off. How often do you see Richardson get a shot blocked? Very seldom. You know why? He's normally being guarded by somebody about 6'3". Jefferson at 6'7" can get right up in his face and can leap as well as he can.
Jefferson had a huge defensive effort against Frank Williams in the regional final. Big Ten Player of the Year was only 3 of 15. Blocks the first shot here today of Richardson.
Woods wide open inside.
He was waiting for it. Banks it home, and he'll go to the line.
I'm really surprised that Hudson doubled down on Wright so early in the game, leaving Woods wide open. You cannot afford to do that against his team. We talked about in the paint. Arizona is very interesting. They have a finesse player and they have a power player, but you can't allow a double down on Wright to leave Woods wide open at 7-1.
That was called on Hudson. What a great free throw shooting effort he's had in the tournament. Good again. Woods is now 24 of 25 in the tournament from the line.
Full court pressure here. Wanting to turn this into a full court game does Lute Olson.
Thomas, the hero in the regional final win. And there's the steal by Arenas.
Great pickup.
Got it to Gardner. Quick 5 here for Arizona. And Michigan State already faces its biggest deficit of this tournament.
Jim, great block out that time by Jefferson on the break, making it sure that Gardner had an open path to the basket. We talked about the free flow of this game so far. Arizona has what they like. They go to a zone now. 1-2-2 zone with Gardner out on top. Going to force Michigan State to show they've got a perimeter game.
Charlie Bell from the perimeter. Tipped around and back out to Bell. Jefferson on the reach-in.
Doesn't want a cheap foul like that. He's aggressive, but you don't want your key defender to get a cheap foul. There's the steal. Look at this good job by Arenas. And then watch Jefferson block out, making sure that Richardson, who's an incredible leaper, can't come over for the block. They stay in the zone. That means Richardson's got to find himself some holes in that zone for his jump shot. Not on that side of the court with Jefferson on him. Richardson be smart to come on this side of the zone to find a better hole.
Richardson steps in. Again, Jefferson influenced the shot.
Absolutely.
Out to Gardner.
And you can see what Arizona wants to do. They're pushing that ball up the floor.
Taken away by State. Up ahead. Bell. Pull up. Thought about it. Anaganye.
Smart move by Anaganye. He does not want to try to make a play. Possession of the ball so important for this Michigan State team. They don't turn it over often. They have great rebounding ability, so you really have to work defensively. Nice jump out by Woods and recovers.
Thomas, the man of a week ago, hits the first one today. 2-point shot. He had 19 against the Owls in the regional final, South final. That was 7 above his previous career high.
And for John Chaney, never any luck, huh, Jim? You'd never expect that man to come up with the big points the day you're trying to work your way to the Final Four.
His 5th time, though, in the Elite 8, and coming from an 11 seed, it was quite a run. Inside push-off, Anaganye with the hold.
Lauren Woods did a terrific job setting Anaganye up that time to get open.
Tom Izzo's team rode to the Final Four. Well, they didn't have to play any real top seeds, Billy, although Gonzaga and Temple have certainly proven through tournaments past that not an easy out. They did not beat a Big 6 conference team, though, to get here.
But I'd have to say, Jim, and we saw them, I thought Temple was playing as well as anybody in the country, and a very difficult assignment to get by.
That bracket, though, certainly
exploded from the names
early.
there.
Yeah,
Yep.
North Carolina and Florida out early.
Little zone matchup now by Michigan State.
Arenas, 3-point shot, too strong and long board, tipped around the bell. He taps it to Thomas. Coming in, what a block by Jefferson. Oh, stop.
Jim, there is only maybe 1 or 2 players in the country that are capable of stopping Richardson on this dunk, and Richard Jefferson is one of them.
Oh.
Do you see where he was on that play? An incredible defensive play here.
It's like he just palmed it right out of his hands. And Richardson, mentally right now, has to be very fragile after this start. Jefferson has been all over him on all 3 attempts.
Well, really give Jefferson a lot of credit for accepting this role as the defensive stopper on this team. Very gifted, but with this role, he's become so much more effective.
Right through the hands of Michael Wright. He needs a field goal attempt in the worst way. Did not take one in the regional final over Illinois. And here is the Lute Olson, Arizona run to the Final Four through Kansas City, beating up Butler, then Ole Miss. They were down 12 at one point in that first half against the Rebels. And then Illinois, where they set the all-time tournament mark, most free throw attempts and free throws in a game.
There's Arizona still staying in the zone. Anaganye trying to make a play inside. Not there.
And cleared by Wright.
Michigan State so far, Jim, has not figured out a way to get their offense going.
Woods, though, at the other end, fed by Jefferson.
Don't like that matchup at all for Anaganya. They're throwing right over the top of his head. Look at the wide arm span of Woods there in that zone, covering a lot of territory. And he doesn't have to worry about Anaganya inside being an offensive threat. They got to get Richardson over on the other side of the floor. With Jefferson over there, he's going to have a hard time getting off a jump shot.
Hudson, baseliner, and Wright had it knocked out of his hands. Anaganya won't let it happen. Too strong, and Woods as the rebound, foul on State.
Great rebounding there by Lauren Woods on the second one. And remember this, Michigan State rebounds about half the shots they miss. They're not getting it today.
Woods' spirited play continues. This week to Minneapolis, where he also has a tremendous tie to this community.
Right, where he went to college.
Augsburg College.
Was married. Right now, he's got his team really on a roll. I thought pretty good move by Jefferson.
They say traveling. Get an interactive Final Four experience with fan polls, in-game features, audio clips, video highlights, and more at the Internet's home of college basketball, cbs.sportsline.com, or AOL keyword is CBS Sportsline. We've got a couple of subs in for the Spartans. They brought in Zach Randolph and Marcus Taylor, a pair of freshmen.
Jim, much more offensive-oriented are the two freshmen than the guys they replaced. Let's see if they can get it started.
Gardner blocks Taylor's first attempt. Comes in from behind.
This is a better offensive unit on the floor right now, and probably Randolph better set up to guard inside.
Arenas threw that right at the ankles of Woods. No chance.
Great job by Taylor recovering that ball.
Taylor zips to the bucket, and it head to the line.
Well, I said at the start of the show, the freshman replacements were going to be a key. I really like what I saw in Marcus Taylor there. One of the premier high school guards in the country last year. He comes in this game looking like he belongs. Terrific move on the inside. And this will change things up defensively a little bit for Lute Olson. Because when you put Randolph in the game for Anaganya, you have an inside offensive presence. And the same way with Taylor from the outside shooting. So I think that Michigan State much better served with this lineup against Arizona than the one that started.
That foul was on Michael Wright, his first. They'd made only one of their first 8 attempts before that three-point play by the freshman.
Like the matchup defensively, too, for Michigan State right here. Randolph powering right down inside.
Jefferson jumper, too strong, and Bell with the long board.
Probably one of the best rebounding guards we have ever seen in college basketball.
He's been that way from day one, since he arrived at Michigan State. Randolph inside, doubled up.
Beauty.
Gives it up, Hudson, too strong in the lay-in.
He expected a little body punishment there and didn't get it. That's why he overshot the basket. Man-to-man now.
Woods beats Hudson on that one. Misses the jumper, though.
Warren should have taken that one to the basket, Jim.
He had a wide open space there.
There's Randolph with the great hands on the inside.
That was a tough pass. He fielded it.
Michigan State be wise to give Randolph some touches down inside. He's very active. And he'll make Woods have to be honest.
Hudson. Woods there. Randolph on the follow, and he too has a three-point opportunity. Back-to-back plays by the freshman.
Jim, I'm going to say something about Tom Izzo. Very seldom does the coach have the guts to recruit great freshmen, start them out slowly, get them into the starting lineup, and then realize they need to come back out of the starting lineup to get tougher defensively. These kids have really responded to some great coaching, and right now they're producing for it.
First it was Marcus Taylor on the three-point play. Now it could be Randolph. Edgerson, Eugene Edgerson, comes in for Arizona, playing in his second Final Four, the last real active member on that 97 championship team. And Luke Walton seeing his first play for the Wildcats, number 4.
And was Edgerson active, particularly off the boards in the last Final Four?
Against North Carolina in the semifinals, he had 9 rebounds. Here he touches it down low, kicks it out, Gardner 3. And it's Bell again with another board.
Gardner had 20 last year against Michigan State. He's got to look at it.
Oh, Chappelle is hammered. No call. Bell 3.
The reason no call, he got hit by Randolph.
A lot of collisions inside, but a pair of Spartans knocking each other down. Gardner, yes, with the 3.
You can't give him too many looks. Chappelle is really hurt, Jim. He's grimacing out there, trying to gut it out.
Izzo saw it. He's already sent Thomas back to check in. Randolph scoring again.
How about that presence inside to go to the pump fake to get Woods up off the floor? The flow of this game, though, Michigan State, a team that doesn't like to play full court, but can.
Inside Ederson, yes. But the whole pace of this game has changed with the insertion of Randolph and Taylor.
Yeah, those freshmen right now are no longer freshmen. I mean, they look like they're ready to go. Chappelle, a pretty good shooter.
Taylor also with a three.
Oh, boy. And I think the discipline that Tom Izzo put in those kids have them ready to go in a big game like this. Great to see.
Gardner just outside the arc, and he bangs home another three.
Now, there's a little difference defensively. Taylor not the defender that Charlie Bell was on Gardner earlier, and Gardner recognizes that as well. Kind of interesting, we have two ACC players out on the floor. I thought that was the second game. Woods had played at Wake Forest.
That's right, Chappelle. And Chappelle still on the floor. They weren't able to make a substitution, no whistle, and he's in there and heading to the line.
Was a great outside shooter at Duke University. Actually, there's why there was no foul. You can see it, Jim.
Look at Zach Randolph, though.
Zach Randolph,
what he can do.
He never felt it, did he?
Oh,
Like it was like a fly in his shoulder. Chappelle almost gets his arm torn off. Watch how strong Zach Randolph is.
Bam. Well, you know, Randolph was hit from behind by Ederson.
Well, you might have called the foul on Ederson.
Double collision, Chappelle.
Well, we haven't had any fouls called teammate to teammate, so, you know, that's why it wasn't called.
Thomas and Ballinger come in for the Spartans. Bell and Hudson out. So Chappelle will stay on the floor. Oddity with 4 conference rings in his career. 2 at Duke and 2 at Michigan State. Big baskets a year ago in the title game when Cleves had to go in with the rolled ankle. Great action early here in Minneapolis. We'll be right back. Shooting 60%. No opponent has shot 50% all year against the Spartans.
Jim, 2 things up there. Obviously, the shooting percentage, but also rebounding. Only 1 team this entire year out-rebounded Michigan State. That was Iowa with
Reggie Evans.
Reggie Evans, the nation's #1 rebounder. So you can see they out-rebound teams by 15.7 a game, and they're being out-rebounded in this one, why Arizona is now in the lead.
That's the top rebounding margin they put up this year in 23 years in college basketball, since Alcorn
State,
78, 1878.
Good aggressive zone defense now by Michigan State, matching up.
Frazier in the game now for Arizona. Woods fade away, and Wright inside again, inactive offensively.
What Wright is not doing is getting his hands on the ball with 2 hands. He's slapping it around in there. Doesn't seem to be sure of himself. Hard to believe a man of his ability did not have a field goal in a win, the win against Illinois.
First time in his career that is approaching almost 9. Well, this is the 98th game. And so far in this one, 12 minutes plus, no attempts.
Here's that 1-2-2 zone. Look at the ground that Woods covers in there.
Thomas. And tipped around Bell, back to Woods.
Got
ahead, Walton. Oh, he had his man coming in right, and he wanted to hit him.
Yeah, he wanted to make the pass off the catch. Did a good job just recovering that ball.
They're lucky to still have it.
Walton has a total game. Pretty good shooter.
Stole away this
away.
David Thomas. And he almost lost control of it going up. Did you notice that?
That was the shakiest breakaway I've seen. He almost lost it on the dribble, almost lost it on the shot, but in either case, puts his team from just 1 down. I really think Arizona's got to figure out a way to get right off the board somehow scoring-wise. There he
is, shooting at last. And Richardson, good box out down low.
Randolph taking off.
For the lead, blocked by Wright, but they'll call him Wright for his second.
Now, what we are seeing here is Michigan State giving Arizona some of their own treatment, saying if you want to rebound against us, we'll run.
Near the conclusion of every tournament game, we select a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team. And to date, Chevrolet has contributed approximately $8 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities. So Randolph is at the line.
He was #3 in the Big Ten this year in field goal shooting percentage. That is probably his biggest game, 27.7 rebounds against Florida.
Arenas back in with 2. Gardner's also reinserted. Frazier out. So about a minute of play.
Also reports he's number 33.
Now we have the Taylor matchup in the backcourt with Bell.
Edgerson also returning. Taylor on the floor for Michigan State.
Boy, Edgerson doing a nice job on the boards. 2 hands, grabbing it tough. Jefferson wanted the lob pass from Gardner. Good decision by Gardner not to throw it from that far out.
And a hold call. Randolph trying to defend Lauren Woods. Access live head-to-head team and player stats through this interactive telecast available on Ultimate TV. Randolph whistled for his first team foul, number 4.
Woods showing a really nice move there, Jim, putting that ball on the floor and going right by Zach Randolph. Giving up some inches is Randolph.
Arenas 3, yes.
Huge shot.
Number 0, Gilbert Arenas.
Just to extend this defense, both teams getting kind of satisfied to pack down inside the 3-point area. And Arenas, with that kind of shot, can extend that Michigan State defense. Zach Randolph's got to be careful trying to handle that ball and hang on to it too long against the zone.
Arenas almost took it away from him.
In effect, with that zone, when the ball goes inside, you are double teamed as soon as you catch it.
6 on the shot clock. Thomas, again, a long 2, and he gets it.
Good block out that time by Hudson without fouling. Jefferson just couldn't get around it.
Thomas's last 2 attempts have been just inside of the arc.
But Jim, the worst shot you can take in basketball.
Yep, and that's a little confusing here if you look at the way this is painted. Jefferson, front of the rim, keeps it alive. And this might be Randolph.
That was Thomas holds his hand on his head, realizing if you're guarding a guy that can rebound as well as Jefferson, you have to block him out on the shot. And he's going to come out. Tom Izzo is going to look him right in the face and say, hey, we work on that every single day. How could you let the shooter get a rebound?
2nd on Randolph, 15 foul.
Arenas now dangerous against this particular defense. He's in the corner, wide open.
Stepped on the line.
No, I think he got pushed by Randolph.
That's 3 on Randolph.
That's a huge foul there, and there's what gets Randolph in trouble and separates him from being the great player he will be. Defensively, he is just not ready to go. We'll see the replay. See, he is not in position to guard the man out on the side by sitting down and taking away the baseline cut.
And they had a man, Ballinger, who's in there now at the scorer's table waiting to come in for Randolph after he picked up his 2nd. Couldn't get him on the floor fast enough.
Arenas and Jefferson looking for lob passes against the backside of that zone.
Woods takes the jumper. Edgerson inside, tipped around to Hudson.
Richardson kept that alive by just going over the top of everybody.
When is Richardson going to score? Block foul on Edgerson.
Boy, we see that all the calls,
1-1.
that's going to be on Woods on the inside, Jim, and what we're seeing, it's all the calls going against the defense.
Woods is first. That is the 7th.
Lauren Woods, how about his play so far, Billy?
I think it's been excellent. Not only has he played aggressively on the inside, he's been making himself available for lob passes and really making Michigan State have to worry about him inside, opening up some things for his teammates.
1-1, and first point of the game for the 2nd team All-America, Jason Richardson, who was named by his teammates co-MVP of the season with Andre Hudson.
First team All-Big Ten, terrific performer.
But really feeling the presence of Jefferson in this game. He's 0 for 5 from the field.
Boy, Arenas has been nice and calm out there today for a great shooter and scorer that he is.
Walton snaps it out quickly. Gardner setting it up for a 3.
And there's the real advantage of having a guy like Walton on the floor. He understands the game. He actually knew where he was going to pass that ball before he caught it, Jim. That's what made it so effective.
Gardner has 11 of Arizona's 27.
Had 20 against Michigan State last year. Young man from Big Ten country.
Indianapolis.
Right? Actually, Arizona practiced at his high school when they won the national championship back in Indianapolis.
Marcus Taylor on the floater. He was not able to watch that practice at North Central High School in Indianapolis. The security wouldn't let him in. He was a sophomore then.
Oh, I got to question that shot. Not a good shot. He said he was hit on the arm. Probably should have been, because it was not a good idea to take it. And there's a foul on his part. Two big mental mistakes by the backcourt leader. And Lute Olson letting him know about it.
It'll be a 1-and-1 at the line Thursday on Survivor. 7 castaways remaining, 5 episodes to go. Surviving the Outback is going to come down to one deal. It's an offer they can't refuse. Don't miss an all-new Survivor Thursday on CBS. 1-and-1. Taylor, front of the rim all the way.
Weak free throw shooting here by Richardson and Taylor. Michigan State can ill afford